Greetings, listeners of Stratos. Hello and welcome to the galaxy of Starfield, the biggest universe ever created by Bethesda. That is, if it's even possible to create a whole universe. The events of Starfield began in 2330, almost 300 years after the colonization of Mars in 2050 and humankind's journey into the cosmos. Those 300 years are filled with mystery in both the vast unknown and even the known reaches of space. There's been factions, wars, and no short amount of discovery. And today, we're going to go through as much of it as possible. This is the lore of Starfield. Humankind's first 100 years in space are a bit of a blur. With advancements in spaceflight and the construction of underground bases on Mars, such as the settlement of Cydonia, humans were able to live in space by 2100, and just in time. Because in 2150, a dire warning came back from scientists on Earth. The planet was on the verge of total environmental destruction. From then on, it was settled. Humanity's future home was no longer Earth. It was the stars. A frenzied age of space exploration kicked off. Advanced colonies were built by NASA across the Sol system, such as the Titan astrobase on the Saturn moon of Titan, which later became the colony of New Homestead in 2182.
These people are direct descendants of some of the first settlers to leave Earth.
The revolutionary grav drive was invented, finally allowing for space travel to other systems, which is how, in 2156, humans reached the next closest solar system to our own, the Alpha Centauri system, located 4.4 light-years from Earth. There, explorers found a world rich with an Earth-like atmosphere and named it Jemison, after Dr. Mae Jemison, the first black woman in space. Now that they had a foothold in the new galactic frontier, it was time to protect it. The United Colonies, or UC, were formed in 2159 and made their capital the city of New Atlantis, named after the utopian novel by English philosopher Francis Bacon. The former residents of Earth filled New Atlantis quickly, building shops, gardens, and housing. The UC then decreed the Centaurus Proclamation, formalizing the colonization of any star system in the galaxy. And for the next few decades, the UC carried out an equally utopian vision for civilization among the stars. Until war broke out. In 2167, while the UC were building their future from New Atlantis, independent trailblazer and certified cowboy Solomon Coe charted a new star system away from Alpha Centauri and called it Cheyenne. On the treacherous but habitable world of Aquila, home of the wild Ashta, Coe founded Aquila City, a dusty haven for all those interested in a quiet life away from the bureaucracy of the UC. And in 2189, Coe would make that his mission, reaching out to Star System Vali, home of the aquatic world of Vali Alpha and Neon City, to form an alliance, thus founding the Free Star Collective, the largest governing body in space since the UC.
Solomon's always a larger-than-life figure if you read the histories, but if you just listen to a few recordings of the man, he was simple. Just wanted to keep moving forward.
With so much uncharted space in the new frontier, you'd think it would be easier for two factions to peacefully coexist. But by the end of the century, these two groups would collide, as a UC star station called the Clinic was positioned in orbit around planet Deep Ala in the Narion system. The unaffiliated settlers of the Narion system saw this as a threat, the aggressive expansion of the UC's border. But when asked to remove the Clinic, the NC refused, and so the people of Narion voted to join the Free Star Collective, launching humanity's first intergalactic war between the UC and the FC, the Narion War. The Narion War raged on through the turn of the 23rd century, lasting all the way to 2216. Public sentiment had soured, and it had proven clear there'd be no clear winner. The fighting finally ceased when the NC and FC signed the Treaty of Narion, ending the war for good and formalizing the distinction of settled systems. From here on out, if humanity's destiny truly lie on the final frontier, it would have to be shared, not fought over. Especially after word arrived back in 2203 that Earth was officially declared uninhabitable. Yet tension between the powers at play in the galaxy only grew increasingly complicated over the course of the 23rd century. The Free Star Rangers were formed in 2221, an elite protective and investigative force for the citizens of the FC. Mercenaries like the Pirates of the Crimson Fleet or Ecliptic began terrorizing passing vessels and traders from system to system. Religious zealots called the House of Faerun devoured all unbelievers of their great serpent deity, and the United Colonies continued to expand its dominion unthwarted across the stars. The galaxy was veering ever dangerously into a caustic state of unrest. Another war was practically inevitable.
Take the United Colonies, or even the Free Star Collective. Both of them full of people trying to make the settled systems better. But that didn't stop them from fighting each other.
And sure enough, a second war between the UC and FC broke out in 2307, when the FC opened a fourth colony on the planet of Vesta in the Lunara system, violating its treaty with the UC, or at least so they claimed. Diplomatic talks failed, and the people of Vesta were utterly besieged by invading UC forces, kicking off the bloody Colony War. More than ever, humanity needed to restore the spirit of discovery that first led its great generation of explorers to the surface of Jemison. A spirit that had been lost, and a spirit that was about to make a triumphant return. Back in 2275, an explorer named Sebastian Banks formed Constellation, a small club of disparate but high-achieving spacefarers with a shared interest in chasing the unknown. What mysteries lie unseen in the Milky Way? What interstellar forces had long eluded humanity? And could there possibly be other intelligent life?
You ever stare up at the stars at night wondering what's out there? Well, that's us. That's where we go.
These were the questions burning at the heart of the Constellation Lodge in New Atlantis, and helping to answer them would be an evolving team of physicists, botanists, smugglers, pirates, entrepreneurs, theologians, and you. In 2310, a year before the Colony War would come to an end with the Battle of Cheyenne, a resounding victory for the civilian and military flotilla of the Free Star Collective, Constellation came into contact with a strange metallic substance they'd come to label the Artifact. No one knew what it was, only that contact with it triggered a hallucinatory stream of lights, sounds, and color. But their quest to find out for certain would resume in 2330, when a miner working for Argos extractors on the planet Vectera, back in the FC-controlled Narion system, came into contact with another artifact, putting them on the path to join forces with Constellation and solve the greatest mystery of the 24th century. This is where the events of Starfield begin, and though they arrive amid a period of uneasy cooperation between the UC and FC, between order and freedom, and between known and unknown, it's your story that will finally unravel it all.